All right, folks, let's dive deep into the Chicago Bears preseason opener against the Miami Dolphins and really break down some of the most notable performances and key takeaways from this game. Now, preseason games are always a mixed bag, right? You're seeing a combination of veterans trying to find their rhythm and young players looking to make their mark, all while coaches are juggling rotations and game plans. But there's still a ton of insight to be gleaned from these matchups, especially when you start looking at individual performances, grades, and how those moments might translate into the regular season. So, buckle up because I'm about to take you through a detailed look at some standout players and decisions from the Bears' first taste of 2025 action. Let's kick things off where every game usually begins with the quarterbacks. Tyson Bent was the starter for the Bears and got the bulk of the first half reps. Now, PFF gave him a pretty respectable overall grade, landing somewhere around 76.6, which is comfortably above average for a preseason showing. What's particularly interesting is that his pure passing grade was about 71.8, also above average, showing that when it came to throwing the ball, Bent was making solid, consistent decisions and connecting on his passes. His raw stats back this up, completing 13 of 19 attempts for 103 yards, throwing 1 touchdown and 1 interception, with a quarterback rating just over 77.3. But here's where things get a little subjective and kind of fascinating. PFF didn't credit Bent with any big-time throws. For those who might not know, big-time throws are basically passes that require exceptional skill, touch, anticipation, and timing. The kinds of throws that really stand out in a quarterback's film. Now, some might argue that Bent's fourth down touchdown pass shouldn't just be overlooked. Let me explain why. On that play, the Bears' left tackle, Braxton Jones, completely whiffed his block, leaving Bent under immediate pressure. Instead of panicking, Bent showed remarkable poise, hanging in the pocket, maintaining his focus, and delivering a precise ball to the back of the end zone on what was essentially a do-or-die fourth down play. In my eyes, that's a textbook big-time throw because it came under pressure with anticipation and directly contributed to a game-changing scoring drive. So, while PFF's grading system might be a bit strict or technical here, I'd push back and say this was a throw that deserves recognition. There was also that 3rd and 15 deep throw to Burton, where Bent kept his composure despite getting hit while throwing, and the deep out to Devin DeVere, both high-quality throws that, even if they didn't get the official big-time tag, should still be seen as significant plays in his arsenal. This is exactly why grading quarterback play sometimes involves a subjective eye. Not every impactful throw fits neatly into one grading category, especially when you factor in pressure, situational context, and anticipation. On the flip side, you've got Case Keenum, who came in after halftime and delivered what PFF called a steadier, more efficient performance, grading him much higher overall, around 86.8 with an 87.6 passing grade. Keenum isn't the kind of quarterback who's going to run around a lot or make flashy plays, but he was precise and effective. He earned 2 big-time throws, including that perfect fade ball to Jade Walker, who made a fantastic catch against man coverage. Keenum held the ball just a tad longer than Bent, around 2.93 seconds, but still maintained a sub-3-second average, which is a positive sign. What's particularly intriguing about Keenum's performance is the level of competition he faced. While Bent was mostly going up against Miami's starting defense in his early drives, the bulk of his snaps were against second and third-team units. Keenum, meanwhile, faced primarily third-team defense players, which you'd expect to be less challenging, but he executed better overall. This sets up an interesting dynamic as the Bears continue their preseason. Is this going to be a true quarterback two-way competition? Should the Bears consider flipping the script next week and letting Keenum take first reps to see how he handles tougher opponents? Because if Keenum outperforms Bent under that pressure, it might influence who emerges as the clear backup behind Caleb Williams. That said, both guys looked capable of stepping in if needed. In a situation where Williams were to get injured, you'd feel pretty comfortable knowing that either Bent or Keenum could give the Bears a fighting chance to stay competitive against most teams. And honestly, having 2 reliable backups in a league where the quarterback position is so pivotal is a huge plus. Shifting gears to the defense, the player of the day, without question, was Austin Booker. This guy absolutely dominated and was the highest graded player not just on the Bears, but arguably in the entire game against Miami. His PFF grade was a staggering 95.3. That's elite level stuff. Breaking down his stats, Booker racked up 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, and he consistently pressured the quarterback, credited with 6 pressures over the course of the game. Now, Booker is generally viewed as a pass rusher first and foremost. So what makes this particularly impressive is that he also graded well in run defense with a solid 79.3, and his tackling grade was respectable too at 76.7. We saw flashes of this last preseason, but the fact that he went from 2.5 sacks in 4 preseason games last year to 3 sacks in just this one game signals serious growth and readiness to contribute. He really took over the second half, which is often when the starters are off the field and the reserves and younger players are getting reps. Booker showed he can dominate against those third-string offensive lines, which is promising. The big question now is, can he replicate this kind of disruption in the regular season when he's up against starting tackles like Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill? If he can consistently flash pressure on his limited snaps, he could become a key piece in the Bears' defensive rotation. Now, talking about the offensive line, specifically the left tackle battle between Braxton Jones and Aussie Trapillo, the grades mostly reflected what many expected. Neither player blew anyone away, and their overall grades landed in the 50s, which is below average. Braxton's pass blocking grade was particularly concerning at just 44.3. He allowed 2 pressures and even gave up a sack. Trapillo did a little better as a pass protector, allowing only 1 pressure and 0 sacks, but Braxton got the nod to start with the first 3 drives. Considering Braxton was coming off an ankle injury and might have needed those reps to get back into game shape, that's understandable. But moving forward, I would expect Trapillo to get the first-team reps in the next preseason game. He's shown more stability in pass protection. And since the Bears coaches have emphasized that the number 1 job of tackles is to protect the passer one-on-one, Trapillo seems to have the slight edge there. But of course, both players have their strengths. Braxton is a better run blocker, which is important in a team that wants to establish the ground game. But if you can't protect your quarterback reliably, the offense becomes limited in play calling. If the tackle needs constant help via chips or tight ends, that shrinks the playbook and limits receivers. So pass protection remains the highest priority. The other interesting wrinkle here is Theo Benedict, a lesser-known name who sneaked into significant snaps at both tackle spots during the game. He posted a really solid 81.7 pass block grade, which is impressive given his lesser profile. While it might be a stretch to say he could start left tackle over either Braxton or Trapillo, it definitely means he's trending toward making the team and carving a role. It's a storyline to watch as training camp progresses because guys like Benedict can often become important depth pieces or special teams contributors. Moving on to the cornerbacks, this is where things get really intriguing because it's a clear competition for the CB2 spot. Nan Wright, who many had pegged as a strong contender for that role, had a tough outing. He was targeted multiple times and got beat in coverage on several occasions, which isn't what you want to see from someone trying to lock down a starting or rotational role. He also missed a couple of tackles, which further hurt his overall grade. Given he played about 16 snaps, a poor day like that really stands out because with limited reps, each mistake gets magnified in the grading. On the other hand, Tyreek Stevenson wasn't targeted once during his snaps, which is a big positive for a corner. Not getting thrown at often means quarterbacks don't see you as a threat or prefer to avoid challenging your coverage. That is a solid vote of confidence for Stevenson and probably tips the scales in his favor right now in the CB2 competition. The Bears smartly played both players roughly the same amount of snaps to get a true comparison. And from what we saw, Stevenson came out ahead. There's also Terrell Smith, who had a strong game before exiting with a groin injury. He was very active in coverage and nearly snagged a pick six, but unfortunately dropped the interception. Still, his impact was noticeable, and he seems to be staking a claim for a spot as well. Linebacker Noah Sue is another interesting case. His overall PFF grade was quite low at 39.9, which looks bad on paper. But when you dig into the tape, it's clear he made some splash plays including stuffing a 4th and goal at the 1-yard line and punching the ball out to create a turnover opportunity. He plays downhill and is more effective as a blitzer and run defender, which fits what the Bears want from their third linebacker spot. His coverage wasn't great, which is probably why the grade suffered, but in terms of impact plays and role fit, he looks like the front runner to be the team's LB3. Some other notable mentions. Luther Burden had a decent day, grading around 70 overall. He made some nice catches, including a clutch reception on 3rd and 15. Kyle Manungi struggled, particularly in pass protection where his grade was extremely low due to an early rep where he got bounced off badly by Willie Gay Jr. Colston Loveland had a brief but solid appearance with a catch in limited snaps. John A. Walker looked promising with a 75 overall grade, though he just missed a touchdown catch that could have boosted his mark. Deion Hankins had a mixed day with some solid moments but a poor pass-blocking grade. Defensive lineman Ruben Hippolyte and Zach Pickens showed flashes. Hippolyte had some tackles for loss and disruption in the backfield, though he might be a bit behind Noah Sue on the depth chart. Pickens recorded a sack but struggled against the run, getting bounced off tackles and posting a low run defense grade. All things considered, the Bears' preseason opener was full of meaningful performances that give us a lot to chew on. The quarterback competition remains wide open, but Case Keenum currently looks like the more consistent option, at least based on this game's performance. Austin Booker's emergence as a dominant pass rusher could be a game-changer for the defense if he keeps it up. The offensive line, especially at left tackle, still needs work, and the cornerback race is heating up with Tyreek Stevenson gaining an edge over Nan Wright. Noah Sue and Terrell Smith could anchor the linebacker and secondary units respectively, while the rest of the roster continues to battle for roles. In essence, the Bears have some solid building blocks and intriguing position battles that should only get more interesting as the preseason continues. This game wasn't about wins and losses. It was about evaluating talent, getting reps, and showing coaches what you've got. And based on what we saw, the Bears have some reasons to be optimistic, but also clear areas to improve. The next couple of preseason games will be key for these players to prove themselves and start to lock down spots as the Bears aim to build a competitive roster heading into the regular season. Continuing from where we left off, let's now take a more in-depth look at some of the underlying themes that emerged from this Bears preseason opener against Miami, beyond just the individual performances and raw grades. When you watch these games closely, you start to see patterns about how the coaching staff is shaping the roster and what kind of identity they're trying to forge heading into the regular season. There's a lot more than just the numbers on the stat sheet. It's about fit, scheme, and whether the players truly embody the team's vision. First, the Bears' offense. From the outset, it was clear that the coaching staff wants to lean heavily on a balanced attack that incorporates both the run and the pass, but prioritizes quick decision-making and efficiency. Tyson Bent's and Case Keenum's play styles reflect this perfectly. Neither quarterback is an elite deep ball thrower nor a dynamic runner, but both have shown the ability to process defenses quickly and deliver catchable balls on time. This approach is evident in the game plan as well. Plenty of quick slants, short to intermediate routes, and an emphasis on moving the chains with high-percentage plays. The Bears aren't trying to overthrow the defense or force risky downfield passes, at least not at this stage of the season. That said, there were some moments when the coaching staff tried to push the envelope, especially when Bent took the field early. His attempts on 3rd and long situations, like the deep throw to Burden on 3rd and 15, show that the Bears are willing to dial up shots when the opportunity presents itself. The decision to go for it on 4th down with Bent's touchdown pass under pressure is also indicative of an aggressive mindset, which is refreshing to see. It's not about playing conservatively just because it's preseason. The Bears want to test their young guys and build confidence, and that kind of aggression could pay dividends when the regular season rolls around. Now, as far as the running game is concerned, there was some subtle work done, though it was clearly limited by the game script and the focus on evaluating the quarterbacks. The offensive line struggles at tackle, especially with Braxton Jones giving up pressures and a sack, had a direct impact on the ground attack. Run blocking requires a cohesive front, and when your tackles can't hold their blocks or are getting overpowered, it allows defenders to pee. Switching over to the defense, Austin Booker's breakout performance deserves even more emphasis because it speaks volumes about the Bears' defensive front and the role they want Booker to play. The Bears have traditionally been a team that emphasizes a strong pass rush, and Booker's ability to generate pressure, force turnovers, and disrupt plays in the backfield fits perfectly into that vision. What's encouraging is that Booker isn't just a one-dimensional pass rusher. His ability to hold up against the run, shown through his solid run defense grade, suggests he could be used more flexibly, perhaps lining up in different spots along the line or dropping into coverage occasionally to keep offenses guessing. The Bears' defensive scheme seems to be built around versatility, and Booker embodies that. They want players who can do multiple things well: rush the passer, set the edge against the run, and contribute in coverage if necessary. That versatility is invaluable in today's NFL, where offenses are more complex and spread out than ever before. The challenge for Booker will be maintaining this level of production against starting caliber offensive lines, which are faster, more disciplined, and better coached than the second and third stringers he dominated in this game. If he can prove that he's more than just a preseason sensation and maintain consistency, he could become a cornerstone of the Bears' defense. The rest of the defensive line is a mixed bag. While Booker shines, players like Ruben Hippolyte and Zach Pickens had uneven games. Hippolyte's ability to get tackles for loss is promising, but his struggles in run defense highlight a potential area of concern for the Bears. They need more consistent play up front to build a dominant defensive front, especially if they want to create pressure without blitzing frequently. Pickens showed he can get to the quarterback with a sack, but struggled against the run, which could limit his snaps if the coaches decide to prioritize stout run defense. This defensive line will be one to watch as the preseason progresses. Depth and reliability will be crucial for the Bears to remain competitive. When it comes to the secondary, the cornerback competition between Nan Wright and Tyreek Stevenson reveals much about the Bears' defensive philosophy. Wright's rough outing was a surprise, given the expectations surrounding him. But preseason games can be unpredictable, and sometimes players simply have off days. Still, getting beaten on multiple coverage assignments and missing tackles can't be overlooked. For Wright, it's a matter of bouncing back quickly and proving he can handle the physical and mental demands of NFL coverage. Stevenson, meanwhile, benefited from not being targeted, which is a good sign in itself. Avoiding passes is often a subtle indicator of effective coverage. Quarterbacks rarely challenge corners they perceive as threats, so Stevenson's ability to fly under the radar while effectively shutting down his side is a positive sign. The coaches must have noticed this because in a game where both players saw similar snaps, Stevenson clearly edged out Wright for now. The Bears' secondary as a whole is looking to build chemistry and trust, especially after some shaky performances last season, and having dependable corners like Stevenson who can hold their own will be critical. Terrell Smith's near interception and overall impact before his groin injury add another layer to the secondary story. Smith has the potential to be a playmaker in the defensive backfield, and his ability to disrupt plays and create turnovers could make him a valuable asset. The injury is unfortunate, but if he recovers fully and can continue to perform at this level, the Bears' secondary will have a dangerous trio of playmakers. At linebacker, Noah Sue's game is a reminder that raw grades don't always tell the full story. While his coverage might have been lacking, his ability to make key plays, like stuffing a 4th and goal and forcing a turnover, demonstrate his value in specific roles. The Bears need linebackers who can be aggressive and make impact plays in run defense and blitzing situations, and Sue seems to fit that mold. His shortcomings in coverage might limit his snaps in passing situations, but if the Bears can get consistent production out of him in his strengths, that's a win. Coaches love players who can contribute in big moments, even if they have weaknesses elsewhere. The offensive line battle at left tackle remains a storyline with high stakes. Braxton Jones's struggles, especially coming off an ankle injury, raise questions about his readiness to hold the starting job long-term. Trapillo's steadier performance in pass protection gives him an edge, but neither player has fully separated themselves to the point where the coaches can feel confident locking one in. Meanwhile, the emergence of Theo Benedict as a reliable pass protector, despite limited experience, adds intrigue to the competition. It's unusual for a lesser-known player to make such a strong impression so early. But football is full of surprises, and Benedict could be one of those hidden gems who pushes others to improve or earns a roster spot through versatility and consistency. This battle will be closely monitored in practices and future preseason games, especially since the left tackle spot is critical in protecting the quarterback's blind side. The Bears' offense needs stability there to open up both the passing and running game, so whoever emerges will have a lot of pressure, but also a great opportunity. Meanwhile, wide receivers like Luther Burden and John A. Walker continue to show promise as reliable targets. Burden's clutch catches and consistent effort earn him a solid grade, though he still has room to improve his route running and separation. Walker's near touchdown catch is encouraging, signaling that he can be a dynamic playmaker if given more opportunities. Both receivers are vital pieces in a passing offense that values precision and timing, so their continued development is important. Kyle Manungi's struggles in pass protection, especially when matched against someone like Willie Gay Jr., highlight the challenges faced by young players transitioning to the NFL level. These matchups expose areas for growth and remind us that the jump from college or lower leagues is significant. Manungi will need to refine his technique and improve his physicality if he wants to stick on the roster. Fans should feel cautiously optimistic. This preseason opener was a valuable learning experience for everyone involved and gave the coaching staff a clearer picture of who is ready and who needs more development. The road to the regular season is long and filled with challenges. But if the Bears keep building on what they showed in this game, they can surprise some people in 2025. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A major shakeup in the NFL defensive landscape could be on the horizon as rumors swirl around the Chicago Bears' latest signing. KYZIR White, a linebacker known for his aggressive playing style and leadership qualities, has reportedly signed with the Bears, sparking widespread speculation about the team's defensive future. White's arrival is being viewed by insiders as a potential game-changer for a Bears defense that has struggled to maintain consistency in recent seasons. Sources close to the team suggest that White is expected to take command of the linebacker corps, potentially reshaping the Bears' defensive strategies and providing a much-needed veteran presence on the field. The buzz around the NFL community is growing, with analysts and fans alike debating how White's skills and experience might translate in Chicago's defensive scheme. This signing is not yet officially confirmed by the Bears' front office, but the excitement and anticipation among followers of the league indicate a possible turning point for the franchise's defensive ambitions. Speculation is rife that White could not only fill a key position, but also serve as a mentor for younger players, instilling a new mindset and toughness that the Bears have been missing. The Chicago defense, historically known for its grit, might be on the verge of reclaiming that identity with White at the helm of the linebackers. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will be on the Bears to see if this rumor turns into a reality, potentially altering their defensive dynamics significantly. In the realm of NFL trades and signings, the possibility of KYZIR White joining the Bears has generated substantial excitement due to his proven track record of defensive prowess and leadership. White's tenure in the league has showcased his ability to disrupt opposing offenses and make critical tackles, qualities that could fill glaring gaps in the Bears' current defensive lineup. The anticipation surrounding this potential acquisition stems from White's reputation for playing with intensity and his knack for reading plays, skills that many believe will elevate the Bears' defensive unit to a higher competitive level. Speculation is also swirling regarding how White's leadership might impact the locker room atmosphere, potentially fostering greater cohesion and resilience among the linebackers. Industry insiders are already weighing the tactical advantages this signing could bring, suggesting that White's presence might allow defensive coordinators more flexibility in scheme design and play calling. The rumor has sparked considerable debate among fans who are eager to see if White can replicate the impact he's had with his previous teams within the Bears system. Additionally, some analysts posit that his signing could signal a broader shift in the Bears' defensive philosophy, perhaps leaning towards a more aggressive, playmaking approach. The excitement is palpable, and if this deal is finalized, the Bears' linebacker core might soon become a formidable force in the league, injecting new life into a defense craving stability and toughness. The chatter about KYZIR White's signing with the Chicago Bears continues to grow louder, with many insiders suggesting this move could be a defining moment for the franchise's defense. White, who has demonstrated remarkable adaptability and durability throughout his NFL career, is rumored to be stepping into a leadership role that has been sorely needed by the Bears. Observers note that the Bears' linebacker unit has lacked a clear leader, and White's arrival could fill that void, bringing a mix of experience and tenacity that might inspire the entire defense. There is a palpable sense of anticipation about how White's style of play will mesh with the Bears' existing defensive personnel, with some experts predicting an immediate boost in tackling efficiency and pass coverage within the linebacker group. Beyond his physical skills, White's reputed professionalism and work ethic are being highlighted as key factors that could influence the Bears' locker room culture positively. The rumor mill suggests that coaches and team executives have been actively courting White to inject new energy into a defense that has underperformed in recent campaigns. As this possibility unfolds, fans and analysts alike are scrutinizing how White's presence could influence game day dynamics, potentially turning the Bears' defense into a more intimidating and cohesive unit. The potential signing is not just a tactical addition. It might also be a symbolic move, signaling the Bears' commitment to rebuilding and fortifying their defense in the coming seasons. Speculation about KYZIR White's signing with the Chicago Bears has sparked a wave of excitement, particularly regarding the impact he could have on the linebacker core, a group that has faced numerous challenges in recent years. White's reputation as a hard-hitting, intelligent linebacker precedes him, and many believe his skills align perfectly with the Bears' defensive needs. The rumors suggest that White's leadership and on-field acumen will be central to transforming the Bears' defense into a more dominant force. Fans are hopeful that his ability to diagnose plays quickly and deliver impactful tackles could address some of the issues that have plagued the Bears' defense, such as missed assignments and lack of consistency. Additionally, insiders are debating how White's experience might translate into mentoring younger linebackers, potentially accelerating their development and enhancing overall unit performance. The possibility of White anchoring the linebacker group has also reignited conversations about the Bears' defensive strategy, with some experts speculating a shift toward a more aggressive and disruptive style of play. The buzz has even extended to opposing teams, who are reportedly taking notice of this potential signing and reconsidering their offensive game plans against the Bears. If this rumor materializes, it could signify a major step forward for the Bears' defense, offering hope to a fan base eager for a return to defensive prominence and greater competitiveness in the league. The potential addition of KYZIR White to the Chicago Bears roster is creating a palpable buzz throughout the NFL community, with many insiders viewing it as a strategic move that could redefine the team's defensive identity. White's rumored signing is seen not just as a personnel upgrade, but as a statement of intent by the Bears to prioritize defensive strength and leadership. Analysts are speculating that White's style, marked by physical White as a cornerstone around which they can rebuild their defense, potentially fostering a culture of accountability and resilience. Fans and commentators alike are eagerly awaiting confirmation of this deal, with many convinced that White's influence could be felt immediately on the field. The rumor has also reignited optimism about the Bears' defensive future, offering a glimpse of what might be possible if the team commits fully to maximizing White's potential. This signing, if finalized, could be the spark that the Bears need to regain their defensive edge and become a force to be reckoned with in the coming NFL seasons. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.